life has no meaning, why not just do it right now? Like, if you're going to not exist at some point in the future, why is staying till tomorrow worth anything? Normally I usually discuss about business stuff, but this video is kind of different because I've been thinking about some things this past week. I was kind of in a place this past week, and there are so many things so many thoughts that I just felt that I need to talk about as regards to. And this video is not like my previous videos that I'm going to just edit and use a lot of text. This is more like a rant, because I've been trying to place my thoughts for the past week, and I just said, let me make this video instead of like making another business video. I'm still going to make those videos, but this video is a little bit different. So over the past few weeks, I had a neighbor who moved in. She was an elderly woman, and she moved into my compound. And I've always had these thoughts, but when she moved in, like, she's kind of old. And normally I'm a kind of person who usually thinks about death a lot, but as she moved into the compound, I sort of started thinking about when I was like 5, when I was like 10. I was in like primary school, and I usually felt like, these set of people that are kind of old people, the age I'm in right now, I used to feel that if I ever approach this age, I'm an old person, you get, like. So I've been trying to confront this feeling about growth, and the fact that at the end of the day, there's a point that I'm going to reach, that I'm going to die, and I'm no longer going to like exist in that sense. It's kind of a weird thought. Like, this is something like someone should be thinking about, but I actually think about death a lot, because it kind of puts things in perspective, like things that are important and things that are like not important. But Alex Hormuz usually says in his videos that on a long enough time horizon, like nothing truly matters in that sense. And I've been grappling with this thought, because even in business, if, like, what's the point of doing anything? Like, what's actually the point of doing anything? What's the point of actually making money? Because at the end of the day, you are most likely going to die, and that money is not going to go with you. So what's actually the point of doing that? Like, it's something that I actually think about. Like, I used to think about it before, like when I was probably like a teenager, but now it grows more profound, because years just pass by, and at some point I'm going to be very old, hopefully, and I'm going to die. So, like, what's the point of anything? What's the point of the struggles? What's the point of going through all these struggles? Like, why live? Like, why live? Especially if you're growing up in a third world country, and you say the hardships that are being, like, that someone is going to pass through. Why then do it at all? Is it worth it at the end of the day? Because at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. So is it worth doing at all? Is it worth doing at all for? Is it worth doing at all? And I'm still. This is not a video where I'm trying to provide answers. It's more about like bringing the question to light, like, why actually do it at all? Like, why do you do it? And I have a version of the answer for myself. I have a version of the answer, but that's a version for myself, and I still grapple with it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not atheist, why I believe in God. Because if there was no God, or if there is no God, then there is no point to doing anything. You might say, I want to do it because I feel like it, but why do you even feel like it? What makes you feel like it? Like, is it worth it? Like, you might feel like it today, and it's still not worth it, just because you feel like it. And the thought of money, the thought of like affluence, the thought of influence, like, why is it worth it? And my own version of the answer is the fact that God has put me in this place for a purpose. God has put me in this place for a purpose. That's the only thing I can think about. Because if I should make a mistake to assume that there's no inherent meaning in life and there's no inherent purpose for anybody, if there's no inherent purpose for anybody on the planet, then it just means that we are just wasting time. Like, it's not even worth it to be here. Really. Like, really. Like, why should you be here? Why should you go through the hardships you're going through? Why should you go through the pains? Why should you go through the struggles? Why should you go through the because if you are going to still die, why not? If you're going to still die on a long enough time horizon, if 200 years from now you're not going to exist, so why exist now? Yeah, I know this is kind of dark, but it's a thought that I constantly grapple with. And my only consolation is the fact that, oh, I'm being put here for a purpose. And that purpose is not determined by me, it's determined by the one who created me. And if it's determined by the one who created me, then that's my meaning, that's my purpose, and that's my meaning. And it gives me some solace in the fact that I'm here and I have something I'm doing. Because on some days where I feel like the stress is not just worth it, I then realize that the things that we're put in here for are not determined by me, but the one who created me. And when I die, it's not just death. I'm still going to live. That's it, like eternal life. I'm still going to have eternal life. I'm still going to live. This is just a phase I'm going through, and I need to do the things that I was sent here to do, because I'm still going to answer for the things I did here when I go over there to meet with God. So that's my only consolation. Because at the end of the day, life's just not worth it. Right? Like, the money, the pleasures, I don't see where it's worth it. I don't see a point where it's worth it to, yes, it's good to have it, but I don't see where it's worth it to because you're still going to die at the end of the day. And it's not just, if you're going to die at the end of the day and it's not going to matter, so what's the point of actually staying here? Really? I actually asked myself that question. And I just said, let me talk about it, because I don't know, maybe someone else is grappling with this, and I feel there are many answers out there to what the meaning of life is, but I kind of cannot wrestle with it, because if nothing has meaning, right? If nothing has meaning, then why do it in the first place? Why not just quit and get out and not just exist? Like, it seems like a better deal if nothing truly matters. Yeah, so that's where my my thought process is. So yeah, I've really grappled with this for a while. I've really tried to think through, why else would anyone actually want to go through this? Especially, you might say that, especially for those who might not have the means, who might not have grown up in a place where they can afford the luxuries of life. I still try to grapple with why you do it in the first place. Because you might say the luxuries, you might say that, oh, I'm doing it for the luxury, and okay, let me say it like this. There are two ways you can look at this. Someone might say that life has no inherent meaning, so make use of the life you have now. And like, because life has no meaning, like this is the only life you have, and there's nothing really, there are no constraints. Make use of the life you have now. And the problem I have with that, make use of the life you have now, because it's not, because life has no meaning, is is I still don't get it. Because if life has no meaning, right, why should I do anything at this point? Right? Like, why? Because if I know that if I die I'm not going to exist, like it's just blackness and I'm not going to exist if I die, then why not just do it now? Really, why not? Like, and I'm actually not depressed, I'm actually not suicidal, but it actually thought, like, if life has no meaning, why not just do it right now? Like, if you're going to not exist at some point in the future, why is staying till tomorrow worth anything? Why? And why are your thoughts, why do you think your thoughts have any meaning? Why do you think your life is valuable in a sense? I like, going down that rabbit hole can get pretty dark pretty quickly. And I know people don't actually think about these things, but I do. And I do more often than not. So I like to go with this second part, right? Like, my life has meaning because it has been determined for me before I was even born, right? And if it was time for me before I was born, that means I have an obligation to God to fulfill my purpose, to fulfill the things He has put me on this earth for, and I will answer for those things when I die. And death is just a transition to life eternally. And that life eternally is what actually has meaning, because it's an eternal life, and time doesn't necessarily matter. Because if time is a constraint here, if I'm going to die at the end of the day and nothing else is going to matter here, then the things that I'm doing here don't really matter at all, but will only matter if it contributes to life eternally. Yeah, so basically that's that's the way I choose to see it, because the other way is just too gloomy for me to go through. And I'm the kind of person who likes to look at things to the utter end. If it doesn't matter, then why does it matter tomorrow? Why does it matter in the next 1 hour? And I don't want to go through it. I want to believe that it matters. It actually does matter. The things I'm doing does matter. The things I'm doing have a meaning. The things I'm doing have a purpose. Not just here, because if I'm not going to exist, then I seriously do not care. If I'm not going to exist in 100 years, then why should I care how my actions shall affect you? But if what I'm doing has a purpose, then I should be looking at how it does affect me in life eternally. And that makes more sense. It makes more sense to me. It actually does. So it's actually a question I think through, and I just thought to make a video about it. Yeah, so yeah.